Welcome to the INTJ equation. Today I want to jump back into something that I lost track of because I lost the videos that I edited. So I had to re-edit them, and I want to talk about SE Hero today. I want to look at SE Heroes who are ESFPs, ESTPs, as well as how INTJs get along with them. So be sure to stick around to the end of the video. So let's just have a little reminder of what SE is. And if you want a more comprehensive look into extroverted sensation, I would suggest you look at this video up here in the top or down in the description below. Extroverted sensing is all about being in the present moment, acting in a crisis situation, mechanical aptitude, giving people a good experience, coming off aesthetically as possible. John Beebe, who is a Jungian analyst as well as a psychiatrist, came up with an 8-function model of his own. Basically, if you want to learn more about that, you can definitely watch this video up here. So what John Beebe did a little bit differently than most people is he made an 8-function model. While there's other 8-function models out there, he assigned the first 4 function as ego functions, which you find like an MBTI. And each of the 8 functions is assigned a Jungian archetype. Basically, the hero function, the mother-father function, the child function, the inferior function, opposing personality function down in the shadow, the cynics, the trickster, as well as the demon. And each of these archetypes have their own flavor, and archetypes are from a Jungian theory, from the collective unconscious, basically the reoccurring patterns, reoccurring characters that appeared throughout history and mythology. John Beebe, in one of his papers in the book Energy and Patterns of Psychological Type, which is going to look a little weird because I'm in front of a green screen here, but this is a very, very good comprehensive book. I do suggest you reading it, which you can find on Amazon. And he also described each function, including extroverted sensation, into 3 key words. Looking on the surface of SE, it is seen as engaging. SE users engage with people. SE heroes, ESTPs, ESFPs are usually quite extroverted, probably one of the most extroverted types of them all, and they are not afraid to engage in conversations and initiate new conversations, start new subjects, and start topics. They do well handling crisis situations. They're often seen as police officers, firefighters, in the military. Definitely see a lot at the psychiatric hospital where I work. Prison guards, correctional officers, whatever you'd like to call them. There's plenty of SE DOMs there. How John Beebe describes how SE is coming off to the person using extroverted sensation is seen as experiencing. SE heroes like to look at the present moment. Down in the shadow, they have SI opposing personality, which opposes their SE hero function. And they may dwell on the past. They may think the past will always be better than the future or the present. So they get very nostalgic and very depressed about things that happened in the past. I had an ESTP friend who believed that he could only have 3 loves of your life, and he basically blew up them all because he's an impulsive alcoholic. But anyways, they like to experience new sensations. They like to share common sensations, and they're very, very insecure about their future because they have NI inferior, which I'll talk about more in the future, so stay tuned. And also give this video a quick like, please. I'd appreciate it. And the third keyword category that John Beebe came up with is the heart of the process for extroverted sensation is enjoying. They enjoy, they indulge, they can be very hedonistic. They're probably the most prone to addiction, abuse of alcohol, drugs, even maybe food. They like to savor the present moment. They like to just take in what's going on. They like to share experiences, like I said, like my ESTP friends. I've had plenty of ESTP friends that like to drag you out and do these crazy things or go to bars and things like that because they just like to give people a good time, even though a good time is very subjective and that may not be a good time at all for an INTJ. Just to go back and explain the hero archetype a little bit, Carl Jung noticed patterns throughout histories, which I mentioned, called the collective unconscious, throughout mythology and literature, and there always seems to be the hero function, the hero of the story, the hero that goes in the cave and slays the dragon and saves the damsel in distress. These just keep recurring over and over throughout history, throughout mythology. And John Beebe kind of calls the first function, the dominant function, the hero function, because basically it's our bread and butter. It's what we do. It's what we're best at. So let's talk a little bit about the 2 types that are SE heroes, ESTPs and ESFPs. ESTPs are known as persuaders. They always know what to say. They make very good salesmen. They can be very manipulative. Like I said, they really like to take their friends and family and drag them out to experiences and share those experiences with each other. But if they're unhealthy or they're reckless or impulsive or whatever it may be, these experiences can be very dangerous. So you have to watch out and learn to watch out when they're trying to persuade you to do something that you shouldn't be doing. Regardless, I grew up with many, many ESTP friends. I probably have more ESTP friends than any other type, and a lot of ESTP and SE DOMs in my family, so I am very used to it, and they're always trying to get me to do things with them. ESTPs, as an INTJ, I always had a interesting relationship with because I was not easily persuaded, maybe when I was younger because of FE Trickster, but that's a whole other video. But they kind of get frustrated and intrigued at the same time because they have a hard time manipulating me. And they are very direct. ESTPs are actually triple direct, which is interaction styles, which again is a whole other video. This is very deep and comprehensive, so definitely subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more about it. I'll be putting out more information soon. As I mentioned before, I had an ESTP friend who I don't talk too much anymore, but he's always used to try to get me and my friends to go out into bars and get into fights. I kind of seen this pattern and I kind of stopped hanging out with that group so much, but I had an ISTP friend and an INTP friend that he would always take out. They have that NI inferior. They just want to go out and have fun, and they don't really consider things like getting into a fight. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if they're going to pull out a gun, they're going to pull out a knife. 5, 10 of their friends are going to jump in and beat the living crap out of you. You just don't know, and they don't think about it, and they don't care to think about it. SE heroes are probably the two types that are least likely to grow as well. They just get stuck in the present and they don't think, they don't look before they leap with their NI inferior. ESFPs, they are dubbed the entertainers. Again, they love shared experiences. They love being center stage, center of attention. They're usually the loudest people in the room. And when ESFPs, they can be very, very expressive with their FI mother, father function. So once they do that, they become like actors, performers, singers. They put their heart and soul into their music or their art or their project. So that's why they are deemed the entertainers. Of course, not all ESFPs are entertainers. They do other things as well. I do believe that any type can do anything they want if they put their mind to it. They just have more challenges and tribulations just based on what type they are. ESFPs are about experiencing reality and experiencing life to the fullest. But like ESTPs, they have NI inferior, and this can bite them in the ass as well. I have an ESFPX who I made a video with, which you can watch here. My ESFPX has come a long way. I think kind of enlighten each other a little bit, kind of put each other basically in a spiritual awakening, if you want to call it that. She's definitely helped me develop my SC inferior, and I've helped her develop her NI inferior. We both still have a long way to go in our respective insecurities with our inferior function, but we are getting there. I also think my son's going to be an ESFP as well. Like I said, I have SE DOMs all over the place. He just recently got kicked out of school because of his behaviors, and they have something down in the shadow called any demon again. I don't want to talk too much about this now. I want to keep this short and sweet, so stay tuned. How do SE heroes get along with INTJs? Again, it's a mixed bag. I did an interview in my third podcast with an INTJ female named Dee. She's married to an ESTP male. I was actually married to an ESTP as well, but she was very unhealthy and had borderline personality disorder, so stay away from that. I had a lot of ESTP friends growing up, but I think ESFPs and INTJs butt heads a lot more because we're known as a duality relationship in socionics. According to socionics, this is the ideal relationship, but if you watch the video that I linked up above, you will see that wasn't the case with us. There's a lot of spiritual growth, but it's going to put you in a very turbulent path to that spiritual growth, which can be good, can be bad, I guess. I think ESTPs particularly can appreciate our bluntness and our directness, and that we can handle their bluntness and directness. We can usually take a joke if we actually get the joke with our FE trickster, that is. And ESFP, the relationship is just a little bit more rough, but there are definitely ESFPs and INTJs that do get along. It's just, I think, very short burst. The biggest difference we have between us is SC and NI, basically. Especially with INTJs and ESFPs, we have the functions flipped. INTJs are always living 10, 20 years in the future. SE DOMs are living 10 seconds in the future, so that always kind of bites us in the ass. And this can be very frustrating to them because they just want to go out and have fun, and it can be very frustrating to us because we see that this fun can be dangerous and that it's not going to reach our goals. They are very big on not dwelling on something that may not happen, which is probably a good thing and fair, but when something does happen, they're often not prepared. INTJs can see SE heroes as impulsive and reckless, and they can see us INTJs as overcautious and kind of boring, I guess. We have to take time to recharge with our NI, and they have to have stimulation. So I think a very distant shoulder-to-shoulder relationship might be good, but hanging out with SE DOMs all the time might be a little stressful on both ends for everybody. It is important to hang out and have relationships with SPs in general because they do teach you how to use your SE, and you can do them a favor and teach them how to use their NI. All artisans, SPs, whatever you want to call them, do have low NI, so they can all be a little reckless, and they usually have SJ caretakers. It can be a little stressful for an INTJ to constantly remind them what they need to do and how to stay appropriate, basically, because we're not always appropriate and we always don't do the right thing, or the right thing, I should say. If you want to understand the hero functions more, go ahead and binge watch this playlist up here. Thank you for going beyond the clickbait and have a great day.